o'clock news starts right now.
As a registered voter, we demand you step down. You do not deserve that position. Step down, Mariano. Step down.
He's in the middle there somewhere, flanked by law enforcement, the media, and the community for the first time since he retired from the Uvalde Police Department following a report about what he knew during the Robb Elementary shooting. Former acting city police chief and current Uvalde County Commissioner Mariano Pargas confronted by angry families and members of the community. It happened after today's county commissioners court meeting.
Yeah, those angry shouts from the people gathered around the cluster of law enforcement officers escorting Pargas to his car after that meeting. They were calling for Pargas to resign from commissioners court a little more than a month after he was reelected.
But his reelection was before a report that he knew kids inside the Robb Elementary classrooms were calling 911 during the shooting, begging for police to help them.
And since that report, Pargas was allowed to retire from the city police force instead of being fired by the city. This was his first appearance at Commissioners Court since then.
And before that confrontation, a heated Commissioners Court meeting in Uvalde today as an independent review of the sheriff's office policies and procedures were unveiled.
Tempers flaring from Robb Elementary victims' families as that review fell short of being called an actual investigation. They tell our Lee Waldman they believe that was just a Band-Aid to pacify them.
Sign in because it's part of the record of the Commissioners Court.
After some families of the 21 victims killed at Robb Elementary were privately spoken to, the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office review of policy and procedures was presented.
Prior to making the report, there was not an active shooter policy.
You are correct, Commissioner Garza. There was no active shooter policy. There were only definitions.
Not only was there no active shooter policy in place for the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office on May 24th, Sheriff Ruben Nolasco has not gotten that training since.
For what they're training right now, he has not taken the course that his officers, all but 3 of his officers have. He plans on doing that in the immediate future.
Carter made it clear in his presentation today, this was not an investigation into the Sheriff's Office response on May 24th, a fact that angered some families here.
For 2 months, we've been hoping for an investigation, and that's what we've been waiting for, just to find out it was just a review of the whole entire department. Was disappointing in itself.
I knew we weren't going to get answers like we expected. I mean, I figured that so much.
Further salt in the wound, coming face to face with Commissioner Mariano Pargas, acting Uvalde police chief that day. He has since left the department after it was revealed he spoke to dispatchers about children calling from inside of the classrooms with the shooter. We asked what he has to say to survivors and victims' families.
All I can say is that a lot of stuff been put out there. It's not the way it happened. That's all I can tell you.
Carter says he made recommendations that he feels will make the sheriff's office better serve and protect the people of Uvalde. Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Testing for tuberculosis started today at 3 local high schools. That's after 1 confirmed case at Brandeis High School. Northside ISD alerted parents last week about that confirmed case and a common link involving Clark and O'Connor high schools. RJ Marquez spoke with Metro Health today about the process and what we all need to know about it.
Most of those bloods have already been transported back here to the laboratory.
The lab work is underway at Metro Health as staff members test for tuberculosis at 3 Northside high schools.
When we get finished, there'll probably be around 115 individuals that are being tested.
Tuberculosis program manager Tommy Camden and his team visited Brandeis and Clark to collect blood and screen students and staff.
We want to know who the individual has been around. 6 to 8 hours a week is kind of our cutoff criteria for screening people.
We're in the lab right now where this is the first steps of this tuberculosis testing that is taking place from those 3 high schools. Metro Health tells us that this is a 2-day process and they will get their initial results and then continue from there.
Northside spokesperson Barry Perez is reassuring parents this is not school-wide testing.
It is around those individuals who Metro Health deemed may have potentially been exposed. Metro Health notified them in writing in a letter.
Perez also says the district's cleaning and sanitizing protocols that have been used since COVID will stay in place.
Sanitizing all of our hard touch surfaces, using our hydrostatic sprayers when appropriate on our school buses and things in our classrooms.
Metro Health is also asking parents and guardians not to overreact. The individual who tested positive was isolated and in stable condition.
Tuberculosis is not real easy to get, to catch. There's no need to panic or worry at this point. There won't be any further transmission at this point.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
There are still a lot of questions about an explosion that killed 4 people Friday on the southeast side. Investigators are working to get those answers, but they say the pace is slow and the weather is a big reason why. What they have revealed is the identity of one of the 4 people who died, 36-year-old Roger Huron Jr. Our Courtney Friedman got some new information today about this investigation. She joins us live now from Public Safety Headquarters. Courtney.
Yeah, well, Myra, we know this is a big group effort to try to figure out what caused this big explosion. San Antonio Fire Department is the lead on the investigation, but ATF and the FBI are also assisting. So we want to say that there is a new video that we got of the helicopter scene today. We learned the explosion happened in an underground concrete structure that goes down about 10 to 15 feet in an area next to construction company K-Bar. That explosion created a large opening in the ground that flooded during Saturday's big rain. They've had to bring in public works to pump that water out so investigators can keep searching for a cause. Today we saw those public works units were still on scene, and I spent my day talking to people who live and work in that area, and they have lots of questions about what happened.
One, I was concerned about because I don't know what it was because I got my girl, she's handicapped.
Well, the fire department also explained explosion investigations are more time consuming because evidence and materials have been shot into the air and scattered across that dense property. Now, tomorrow, the fire department has confirmed that they will have a media press conference right here at Public Safety Headquarters. And of course, we will be there and bring you the latest information as we get it. We're live downtown. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Courtney. A soldier from San Antonio is dead after he was hit while crossing a street in North Carolina. According to the Army, 31-year-old Specialist John Michael De Leon died Friday from his injuries this past Friday. De Leon, enlisted as a combat medic in 2019, was stationed at Fort Bragg as part of the 18th Field Artillery Brigade. He's survived by his wife and 2 children. His unit will hold a memorial in his honor in the coming days.
He had been shot, but he kept on doing his job. That's how Bexar County Sheriff's deputies described the last moments of their fallen canine, Chucky. He died in 2019. The man on trial for allegedly shooting the BCSO canine, Matthew Morales, is facing several charges in this case. Erica Hernandez with today's testimony.
One by one, Bexar County Sheriff Office deputies spoke about the moments canine Chucky was shot back in 2019.
He tries biting him, but Matthew began firing rounds.
I see him shooting at the dog, and at the same time, the dog continues on with his duties and gets a hold of Matthew.
According to prosecutors, Matthew Mireles led law enforcement on a chase through 3 counties on January 25, 2019. And after running out of gas on Loop 1604 near U.S. Highway 151, he began daring officers to shoot him.
He's walking backwards in the middle of the highway, waving a gun in our direction.
It was then that K-9 Chucky was deployed, but was allegedly shot by Mireles. In return, multiple officers on the scene returned fire, hitting Mireles several times.
I believe I shot 2 to 3 times until I saw Matthew go down.
All the deputies today said despite Mireles waving his gun at them, they didn't fire until he fired at K-9 Chucky. But the defense in cross-examination challenging whether they tried to de-escalate the situation before firing at Mireles.
Mireles is charged with several different counts in this case, including interfering with a police service animal and 8 counts of aggravated assault of a public servant. At the Communities Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Check out TransGuide right now. This is the eastbound lanes of I-10. It is near Callahan, and it's actually the lanes that get off on 410, I believe, right there. And so it's basically causing a big slowdown. You can see the access road up above also backed up. Again, this camera is at I-10 in Callahan to give you an idea of where we're talking about. We're looking eastbound here. Could be just a fender bender, could be a stalled vehicle. Not exactly sure what's happening, but it's causing a bit of a backup in this area.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. 72 degrees right now. It's been an interesting day. So that thick fog this morning, is that all part of this transition we're about to undergo, Adam?
Well, we've been dealing with that for several days, and we're going to deal with it again tonight and early tomorrow. Another round of fog on the way. So the deal is the dew point's at 65. It's sticky and muggy outside. Air temperature 73. These two numbers, they're going to meet. That means the air is saturated. Relative humidity will be up to 100%, and it's going to lead to more fog and dampness later tonight and especially during the morning commute tomorrow. So turning cloudy this evening, fog and drizzle, I think even as early as midnight. Temperatures holding steady in the upper 60s. That's where we'll start the day tomorrow. 68 around San Antonio, just a few degrees lower as you get up into the hill country. But look at our morning temperature trend. Have the jacket ready by Wednesday morning. 50 degrees then. Thursday and Friday, we're down into the upper 30s. We'll talk about afternoon temperatures, how much they're going to drop off, and when this cold front arrives tomorrow in just a bit, Myra.
All right, thanks, Adam. Today in a new KSAT explains what happens when you call 911. We're taking you inside a local emergency communication center. Think of it like a command center for emergencies happening all across our area. And a fee on your phone bill pays for this. We talk with both dispatchers and call takers who share what it is like to answer these calls day in and day out.
While she was on the phone, you heard the gun go off. You heard her scream.
Yeah, she'll share more of that story. Some of these emergencies they deal with, they never forget. We'll walk you through what happens from the time a 911 call or text is answered and how your monthly fee funds that. KSAT Explains is at 6:30.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for you tonight on the Night Beat.
To be out here and not really having a place to stay, to sleep. You can't take a bath. I can't change my clothes. My shoes were wet for 2 days because I didn't have extra shoes.
Unexpectedly forced out of her home after Friday night's deadly explosion. What one woman says she's dealing with as the investigation continues. Plus, a councilman's day in court delayed. Clayton Perry is not going to make his next court appearance until next year. The potential reason behind today's postponement. We'll see you for these stories and a lot more tonight on the Night Beat.
Thanks, Stefania. New at 6, diabetes holds the title of San Antonio's silent pandemic and one that causes a whole host of issues. So it's not a surprise that preventing it is a big topic in doctors' offices here. Ursula Perry with a thing that you can stop drinking and the surprising thing that you can start drinking to lower your risk.
Diabetes, unfortunately, on the rise. In fact, more than 1 in 3 people in the U.S. have prediabetes.
Often if the blood sugars are borderline, people don't know.
Even with type 2 diabetes, sometimes people are not symptomatic until blood sugar levels are very high.
What you eat and drink plays a big role in your risk of getting diabetes. Research shows just having 2 cans of sugary drinks a day can increase your risk for type 2 diabetes by 26%.
We have research that supports that lifestyle change is so powerful at reducing your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by about 50%.
In fact, there are drinks that can lower your risk. A study in China found that drinking at least 4 cups of black, green, or oolong teas a day was linked to a 17% lower risk of developing diabetes. And then another study in Japan found that people who had 3 cups of coffee a day were 33% less likely to develop type 2 diabetes than people who consumed less than 1 cup per week. Some other drinks that can help: plant-based milk, whole fruit smoothies, and flavored carbonated water.
Even if you've already been diagnosed with prediabetes, doctors say there is a way to turn back the clock and actually stop diabetes from even happening. You can get a 30% reduction in your risk. All you have to do is eliminate those sugary drinks, start exercising, and eat right. It is that simple. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's take a look outside with Sky 12, one of my favorite sights of the season, the Boots, all lit up at North Star Mall.
Like I like to say, those boots are made for shopping. And it's, like you said, it's a great tradition in San Antonio to have those boots ready to go.
Makes me feel good driving by them.
Yeah. Guess I'm about to start Christmas shopping here one of these days.
Oh, it's way too early.
I know. You know, I thought of you, Steve, just the other day, because I'm like, I should probably go get some things by now. And I was like, nah, I'll talk to Spreester. We'll wait until next week.
Exactly.
Probably.
We got plenty of time.
A lot of time left between now and Christmas, of course. A cold front is going to hit around noon tomorrow. Unfortunately, not a very good chance of rain associated with that front, but temperatures will be impacted the rest of the week behind that front. So let's get right to tomorrow's forecast. Wake up to fog, drizzle, and dampness again, even a few sprinkles, 67 degrees with noticeable humidity to start, and then 77 at noon. And at that point, it's our high temperature for the day because the cold front hits shortly thereafter, dropping us to near 70 in the afternoon. So we'll be at our warmest around the noon hour, and then temperatures just drop off a little bit later on in the day. Notice only a 20% chance of a shower or two with that front. Second half of the day, low humidity. It's going to feel fall-like again by the second half of the day tomorrow, a return to that crisp feel in the air, and some cooler mornings too. Let's talk temperatures. Across the state, 60s and 70s. The cold air is not here yet, but it's out there. It's just off to the northwest of us. I mean, you get to Phoenix, it's only 55 right now. Las Vegas, 49 degrees. So clearly we've got that cooler air out there, and that's where it's coming in from the west and northwest, and it's going to push its way into our neck of the woods starting the second half of the day tomorrow. But you're going to notice the temperature drop mainly by Wednesday. So tomorrow around noon, 80 degrees Poteet, 80 Pleasanton, another day well above average. Even Nixon Smiley about 79, 77 on the west side of town. But then we get to Wednesday and Thursday, high temperatures back in the 60s at 67 degrees, close to average for this time of year. We get to the weekend and we're down near 50 for afternoon highs. So another drop in temperatures. Again, temperatures will be impacted significantly by this whole shift in our weather pattern that we have coming our way. So let's talk about the weather pattern. You can see the big swirl in the clouds and precipitation, big broad circulation in the western U.S. That's the upper level low. Beautiful 500 millibar system, really is. And it's going to hang around through the northern part of the country most of this week, bringing with it wintry weather to the north and even some showers and storms to some southern states. But for us, I don't think we're really going to be able to tap into much of anything. Here's a future cast for the precipitation, blue being snow, green and yellow being the rain. And notice how it just skirts past us tomorrow, most of the action off to the north and east of us. And thereafter, we really don't have any good opportunities for much in terms of precipitation from this system. It's all out of our area. So with the cooler temperatures, I do think we'll be a decent amount of sunshine, actually. Here's another way to look at the accumulations over the next 7 days. And this is just an estimate here by one of our computer models, but it shows San Antonio right on the edge of being able to get some rain. So close, but too far away still. Not really going to get much moisture out of this. 20% chance tomorrow. Then this weekend, we have a 30% chance. But I want to point out all of it very light in nature. Nothing really impactful when it comes to our drought situation. Dew points. Dewies are going to take a hit. Right now we have the humidity up there. Dewies well into the 60s, feeling muggy and sticky outside. That's going to give us fog again tomorrow morning, another damp start to the day. But by noon tomorrow, that humidity is going to fall off very quickly. The drier air will be coming in from the northwest. And at that point, dew points will be closer to 50. And that cold front sweeps away the humidity. It keeps it away the rest of the week. Starting tomorrow afternoon, all the way through the rest of the week, you're not going to notice any mugginess in the air. And that also means some cooler mornings. We talked about that. Have the jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning at 50 degrees. Thursday and Friday mornings, we're even cooler in the upper 30s. So you don't need the jacket or sweatshirt tomorrow morning, but have it ready for the kids at the bus stop starting Wednesday morning. And there are those afternoon highs back down in the 60s, Wednesday through Friday, and even cooler this weekend. Still some uncertainty around those rain chances, but right now I don't have really much confidence in us seeing anything more than a few light showers here and there.
All right, we'll stay on our toes. Thanks, Adam.
All right, we're going to do some initials here.
Okay.
TY is IN. OBJ is OUT.
What?
To explain, let's go to the AT&T and talk to Greg Simmons, who's going to explain all of this alphabet soup.
So you're thinking about T.Y. Hilton signing with the Dallas Cowboys, and of course OBJ out the door now because his knee wasn't healing as fast as they wanted to. That's a very good point. When we come back right now, help is on the way for the San Antonio Spurs as well. And the fact that Jeremy Sohan will play tonight after missing the last 5 games. And also live from Orlando, our Larry Ramirez with the UTSA Roadrunners coming up. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center, where the Spurs hope to continue their win streak tonight when they play host to the Cleveland Cavaliers to tip off a 3-game homestand. The Spurs are coming off a 115-111 victory over the Heat in Miami on Saturday to just stay ahead of Houston as the last-place team in the West, where the Cleveland Cavaliers are the third-best team in the East. So it'll be a challenge for the Silver and Black tonight. Jeremy Sohan, who has missed the last 5 games with a quad contusion, is be upgraded to available tonight to get ready for this contest.
I think it'll be huge, just another energy guy out there, that one of our best defenders and rebounders, and just excited to get him back. I know he's ready. He's itching to get back out there.
All right, here's a tip time tonight. It will be late at 7:30. Now we're going to take you live from the AT&T Center to Orlando, Florida. That's where our Larry Ramirez is standing by with the UTSA Roadrunners as they arrive for their big bowl game. And I understand, Larry, that Jeff Traylor did make the trip with the team today.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct, Greg. Coach Traylor did make the trip today here to Orlando, and it's been an emotional day for Coach Traylor, who tweeted his dad went home this morning at 3:40, certainly making this a bittersweet day as well. So our condolences to Coach and his brother Kurt, the Roadrunners assistant offensive line coach, and the entire Traylor family. Now here's a team arriving around 3:30 p.m. Eastern time at their team hotel here in Orlando, Florida. They were all smiles and having fun. The Roadrunners hope to cap off their awesome regular season with the win at the Cure Bowl, which would be a first for the program. One of the many firsts they hope to achieve by beating the Troy Trojans. Coach is ready to get after it following their disappointing bowl loss last season in the Tropical Smoothie Frisco Bowl.
I remember saying, I got to get Frank Harris ready. We got to get back here and get this done. That's kind of been our mindset the entire season, and this is a big step for us. And we have a lot of things we're playing for. We have an opportunity to be a top 25 team. We've never done that in the history of our school. We have an opportunity to finish in the top 25. It's never been done. We have an opportunity to win a bowl game for the first time. That's 3 pretty important things to play in a season that's already been very historic. I am concerned about our depth and the lack of players we have just because of injuries. So we can't afford any more hits to grades or anything else that might come up.
Coach also said he is all about rewarding his team, but it's a fine line to walk when it comes to fun and also getting ready for a bowl game. So we'll have more with the Roadrunners tonight here in Orlando. Greg, back to you in the AT&T Center.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Thank you, Larry. Even though the Cowboys won their game against the Texans 27-23, they have lost their star offensive tackle. That is Terrence Steele out of Steele High School for the rest of the season. That's after the Steele High School product tore his anterior cruciate ligament and his medial collateral ligament in his knee. Happened just before the end of the first half, and as you can see, it got rolled up onto. And you can tell by watching, it didn't look good when it happened. We wish him a very speedy recovery. Today at Morgan's Wonderland, founder Gordon Hartman announcing the 2023 NFL Alumni Golf Classic to benefit children with disabilities. Be played on April the 24th. The Oaks Court at the TPC San Antonio on April the 24th. The Amazon is its top sponsor, and the goal is to raise $500,000. And we're getting late word tonight that UT basketball coach Chris Beard has been suspended. But before that, we'd like to bring you up to date on Nalissa Smith, former East Central and Baylor basketball star, national champion, now a member of the WNBA Indiana Fever. Nalissa Smith holding a toy drive right now at East Central High School at 6:30. And that late word again from UT is about Chris Beard, who was arrested on felony family violence charges. He's now been suspended without pay by the university. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, we'll continue to follow that story. Thank you, Greg.
Still to come here at 6, 3 numbers no one wants to dial, 911. But who's there to answer that call when you need to? How your cell phone bill helps pay for it. Next.